afternoon, everybody. Hello to my fellow Riverdalians and Bronxites, and to visitors as well. 54 hours and about 30 minutes, the polls close. And we know we are going to have a great result. But, you know, there's been a lot of talk these past couple of weeks about who's a real Democrat. And I just want to tell you, when I look to see who's a real Democrat, what do I look at? I look to see who is making our streets safer, who's working for poor people, for middle-class people, for working people, who is fighting for the elderly, who is fighting for democracy, and who is fighting for open government. And let's think about this. Who's done all that for the past few years?
Jeff Klein!
Well, it's been Andrew Cuomo, it's been Jeff Klein, and it's been Kathy Hochul. Just think about it for a minute. The SAFE Act, the toughest gun laws in the country to make us safer. Governor Cuomo, Senator Klein, the Assembly Democrats too. That's how it happened. It didn't happen by people complaining. It happened by them getting something done. What about UPK? That was a partnership. We're talking about equality, giving people an opportunity. This is what the governor has done. This is what Senator Klein has done. This is what we've done in Albany. And this is what Mayor de Blasio has done. These are the people who've done that, and that's why we're supporting them on primary day. What about human rights? What about marriage equality? Who made that happen? Same thing. This was Governor Andrew Cuomo. This was Senator Klein. This was the Assembly Democrats. We made it happen. They made it happen. Other people can talk about these issues, but some people sitting on the stage took action on these issues. You know, what about democracy? When you talk about democracy, what's the only place in the entire Middle East where we have a democracy? That would be Israel.
Yeah, that's right.
You have a governor and a Senate leader who went to Israel to show their support. Then you have these two professors who don't say a word about it. You know something? A lot of people care about issues like that. And Professor 1 and Professor 2, well, mum's the word with them on this issue, and I think we know what that means. But Andrew Cuomo and Jeff Klein, they have stood up for us on that issue as well. Fighting for senior citizens and those who hope to become senior citizens one day, being standing up for Medicare. And who did that? Kathy Hochul did that in Congress. And yes, we raised the minimum wage. We raised it for the first time in years. We raised it by 24%. And it was Andrew Cuomo and Jeff Klein who helped make that happen. And while some people talk about the democratic process, you know, other people might say things like, many people are not sophisticated enough to make these decisions. I'm not going to say who said that, but we know it was not Jeff Klein. That was his opponent when he voted to overturn the twice expressed will of the voters on term limits. Yep. And then to add insult to injury, Jeff Klein's opponent supported the Republican candidate for mayor in 2009. Now, one thing I can tell you, when we're talking about who the real Democrats are, Jeff Klein has never supported the Republican, not once, not ever, not one itty-bitty time. He's always supported Democrats. So we have a team of people, you know, we're working hard in our district, and I should mention that, if I can take a personal privilege, our district leaders from my own area are here, Bruce Feld and Randy Martos, and our future district leader, Eric Dinowitz. We have a slate here, Andrew Cuomo, Kathy Hochul, Jeff Klein. They have fought every one of these battles that we talked about. They are the real Democrats. They've delivered, and we're going to deliver for them on Tuesday. Not only do we want to win, but we want to win a very big victory. And we're going to do that with your help. So I would hope that when you leave here, you make sure you're all signed up to help on Tuesday. Now, we are fortunate in the Bronx to have political leadership that has brought the county together, that represents the diverse elements of every corner of the Bronx. And some years ago, we brought that new leadership to the Bronx, and now he, as the Democratic chairman of the Bronx, the Democratic leader, has made our Democratic Party stronger than ever, and I'm very proud to call him my friend and my colleague, the Bronx Democratic Party Chair, Assemblyman Carl Hastie.
Yeah.
Before I get to my remarks, I do want to take a point of privilege and announce some of the elected officials that we have with us. First, since we're in his home district, we have Councilman Andy Cohen. We have with us Senator Diane Savino visiting with us from and her colleague from Staten Island, also Matt Titone, is with us. And then we come back to the Bronx, we have Assemblyman Mark Jonai is with us. Assemblyman Marcos Crespo. Assemblyman Louis Sepulveda. And as county chair, you can never forget the district leaders because those are the ones who elect you. Again, Randy Martos. Bruce Bell. Soon to be district leader Eric Denowitz. Soon to be district leader Marco Sierra. And we have Julia Rodriguez with us, also another district leader. I didn't say mine? And my next door neighbor, I'm so sorry. You know what? This is what happens when they give you prepared statements. Of course, from the 82nd Assembly District and the treasurer of the party, Mike Benedetto. It's a pleasure for me to be here, basically threefold. One, to talk about the wonderful job that our governor has done in the past 4 years, and also to talk about the leadership that Jeff Klein has brought to us in the state and the friendship that I've had with him for almost 20 years, and then also to welcome someone we know is going to be a wonderful lieutenant governor, partnering with Governor Cuomo. You know, 4 years ago, Governor Cuomo came in and took over the helm, and I'm going to use some football analogy since today is the first Sunday of football. So we got to love this team because we're here. And so to me, when you have a successful quarterback who is driving us down to win, there's no reason to call a timeout and ask the coach to put in another quarterback. And the governor's been a tremendous quarterback for the state of New York over the last 4 years, and we need to give him a tremendous. And again, to Senator Klein, who's been a personal friend of mine, for 20 years, and the leadership that Jeff has in this business. A lot of times when people, give you their word on something, Jeff stands to his word, and that's something that we always have to remember in this business. And the leadership that they have shown together, with Jeff being a co-leader in the Senate and the governor's leadership on so many things, as Assemblyman Denowitz mentioned, the raising of the minimum wage, the job creation, the funding of universal pre-K for New York City. So these are tremendous, monumental things that the governor and Jeff Klein has done. So for me, it's going to give me even better pleasure now to mention, as we have in this state, the governor saw fit that we need to have a little balance. It shouldn't just be always, men doing the work. So he picked a wonderful young lady who represented us well from up in the Buffalo area in Congress to be his partner, who I think is going to be a tremendous lieutenant governor. So I'd like us to give a wonderful round of applause for our next soon-to-be Lieutenant Governor, Kathy Hochul.